Okay, so this is my little mystery lathe I picked up the other day. I had my sister pick it up for me, and I just picked it up from her. There was a piece of wood mounted on it when I saw pictures initially. A couple things that struck me as odd in the picture is that there was just this one, single-size pulley on here. And then, of course, as I got it from my sister, I realized, if it shows up, that I think this has been cut off. So I think this shaft was longer, probably had a step pulley on it, possibly flat belt, I don't know. So yeah, so that would explain that. I was a little disappointed to see this screw on there when I pulled the wood out of it. Someone actually brazed that in there into the center. So I don't know if this was the original center and they, the taper popped through it, or if they just brazed it on after the fact. I assume, I don't know, because I assume this would have been like a dog drive plate or something. But I thought they brazed it to the spindle itself. I don't know if I should consider it that I like it or not, but there's a little side-to-side play in this right now, and I went to tighten that up and realized, oops, hold on. So they basically, I don't know if that was original, but they cut it off and they threaded in there. I'm pretty sure that's just a bolt. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe they so yeah, so that could be good. I mean, that could be, I could screw a center back in there. What I was thinking I was going to do anyways, I'm going to figure out the size of this. I got to get all this apart. I think I was one way or the other. I figured that was just at most, a dead center through the plate. And so what I was planning on doing was seeing if I can turn a new spindle with a threaded head. And I know this thing's not going to be great. I mean, I have a little 618 or the Craftsman 101 over there, so it's not like I need this for lathe. This is just something to play around with. But yeah, I may just turn a whole new spindle on here. It's got a 9-inch swing, so I'll probably figure out whatever the threads are for typical 9-inch lathes, and just see if I can get a chuck on here. And I won't use it for doing a lot of work, but I might be able to use this for facing up some bigger stuff that won't fit on the 6-inch swing of my Craftsman. So yeah, so this and this are just bolted, it's just normal hex bolts at the bottom. This loosens up, you'd push that into your material there. I remember hearing a story or reading something about they used to just put earwax and stuff on here, so who knows. So this was actually oriented different initially in the pictures, and this had swung sideways, and so I was a little worried that when I found it was an armature lathe that maybe literally all it did was this way, and I was like, well, that kind of wouldn't allow me to face off bigger things I wanted to. But what it is, there's a wing nut in the bottom of here, and so with that you get side-to-side movement, and actually, oops, sorry, this goes, maybe it's not loose enough, so you get some forward and backwards play on there. And of course I just knocked it off the little, it's kind of got the, oops, wow, I losing it way too much. Let's see which way, this way. It's showing too dark, maybe I should have left my flash on. Get down on there, we go. And I have no clue how straight that is, but then, so with this, oops, sorry. So this is this called a rocker screw? I don't know, but if you loosen this, all it is, there's this screw under here, and then, you screw this one in, it pulls up on this. And that loosens the whole entire thing to rotate. And then actually, this whole thing can come out, and then that way you can reorient this. And you can have it this way so your cutting tool, if you need that space there. They had it, I mean, when I grabbed this was, I think, let's see, I think it was actually this way in here, and the cutter was on the other way. But then this way, I can slide it back in here, And again, that's, you see you got the, if this will focus, you get the, it's not going to, there you go, you got a dovetail and 11, and then that bar is kind of tapered. And then there's the matching angles here. Wow. Maybe it's not meant to be reversed. So which of those, I don't know, it matches up in that dovetail pretty good. Maybe it's just a bad casting. But yeah, so that would give you, you know, there's no dial, so it's not like you're gonna get precision stuff on this. But again, you could flip this. So if you wanted to do a taper this way, yeah, you could do it this way. You could completely flip this head around, but then this also, you can just completely run it off the back side of that and flip it around so that the cutter's on that side, and then you get a little bit of, so that's going to my right in the video, I don't know if you can tell, so that'll pull it off your depth of cut, and that'll advance you forward. So you would set up your depth of cut, get your angle, which now I have loose because of that, and boom, run your face. Or again, if you had this turned the other way, run your cut. So let me tighten that down more. There we go. It actually moves pretty smoothly too. I was kind of shocked. So the guy just has it mounted, you know, he had it mounted up with this motor over here. Why my camera is not wanting to focus on things I don't know. He even said autofocus was on, and now it's, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. There's no branding marks on it. There's a few places where there is a number, like there's that one stamped into the bed. There's actually a really small number right, maybe it's not showing up on my camera. I think it says 909. I know there's a, maybe it's 909 or 606 is the same as that, so they go together. I don't know, there's no marks, but from when I was trying to look into the history of lathes, basically it could have been that, you know, GE was making motors back in the day, or whoever needed to make motors, maybe it was military, and they would have these made specifically for them. So it wasn't like a company was selling them, I guess. So, but I thought it was cool. It was 50 bucks, and part of me was like, that was way too much, but this thing, it's cool. I mean, for reference, the size, I mean, it's not huge, except this is, you know, 4.5 from here to here, so it's a 9-inch swing total, and obviously that's only like 12 inches, and it's perfect for an armature, right, like you would have if you were truing up. So, I think I'll get some use out of it. I don't know yet. One of the things is that, like, with this, remaking the spindle, I'm still learning to use my Craftsman lathe over there, which, if it focuses on anything, I'm like, I want to learn to do threading, and I'm not one to just learn for the sake of learning. I mean, I really should be, but I like to have a reason to make stuff. So that'll give me a reason. I'll turn down a new spindle for this as soon as I get it apart and figure it out, and then cut the threads and the register and stuff like that for that on here, and that'll give me a reason to do it. And of course, I'm not going to modify this spindle. I might as well keep it. Might come in handy for something, I don't know. So I don't know, but yeah, this is, so that's the mystery lathe that I picked up. So now you know.